The safest places to live in Wisconsin have been revealed. Plus, we'll look at the impact that single female homebuyers are having on the real estate market in Chicago. Keep it right here. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching your real estate news. I'm your host, Stacy Hansen. Let's take a look at your headlines. The safest places to live in Wisconsin have been ranked by HomeSnacks using FBI data. The site ranked all cities in the state with populations of more than 5,000 people for a total of 132 communities in all. Based on the FBI's Uniform Crime Report, which summarizes the number of property crimes and violent crimes in each city per year, Oconomowoc Town is the safest in the state. A total of only 26 crimes were committed there in 2014. The town does have a population of just around 8,600, but the communities were ranked on a total crimes per capita basis. Overall, towns within a 15-minute drive of Oconomowoc Town tended to fall into the top safest in Wisconsin. On the flip side, the most dangerous cities were Milwaukee and Superior. Single women accounted for 15% of all homebuyers last year, according to the National Association of Realtors. That's the second largest segment of homebuyers behind married couples. Experts predict that the number of single women buying home will increase in the coming years as their average incomes have significantly risen over the last few years. According to Realtor Mag, 72% of single women purchase single-family homes with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. The median age of single female homebuyers is 50, but their average age as first-time homebuyers is 32, according to NAR. The Chicago Tribune reports that single women are a force in the Chicago market and are buying homes at an even higher rate than national trends, 12% in Chicago, opposed to the national average of 9%. Stay tuned, we have more coming up right after this. And welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Savannah Hauglid with Century 21. Welcome back, Savannah. Nice to see you again. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
So it seems like now is new construction season because I'm seeing it everywhere. And I wanted to ask you, a lot of people wonder, do you really need a realtor when it comes to new construction, or can you just do it on your own?
Yes, well, that is a great question. Well, in any sales transaction, whether it be a car, house, or fine jewelry, someone is selling the product and someone is buying the product. If the person selling the product is the sole representative of the transaction, whose interest do you think that they are most looking out for? While you may not realize it, the builders know the importance of realtors, and because they typically staff the model homes with those real estate agents, they do have a strong relationship with them. It is important for you to have an agent best represent you, so they can advise you on how to structure your offer to be most appealing to the builder and to making choices that can affect the home's resale value in the end when you're ready to sell your home. Yeah, it's always great to have that expert opinion there with you because there's a lot of things that the average person wouldn't know that your realtor is going to know. So yes, that's some good points there. Now, kind of along with that, buyers sometimes think that they can save money using a realtor. Is that true? Or, I mean, are you saving money? Is it costing more? Or does it vary? What would you say about that? Well, unfortunately, that's something that a lot of people think, and it's not true. So when you're looking for a home and you think that you can buy it on your own and you don't need an agent, that's totally false, and it can end up ruining or having you spend a lot more money in the long run. So, and also people do think that if you don't have a realtor that you are allowed the commission that a realtor would typically take on, and that's not true either. So if the buyer proceeds without representation, the commission the builder has already set aside is often kept by the builder or given to their own representative. It's never given to the buyer. That's good to know too, and again, the average person may not be aware of that. So yes, good point, Savannah. Now, if someone's thinking of buying a new construction, would you suggest they contact you right away? How would they contact you? Well, you can reach me at my Minnesota number, but don't worry, I live in Sun Prairie, at 651-925-7889, or you can email me at savannah@kjsellsmadison.com.
Well, thanks so much for stopping by, Savannah. It was wonderful, as always, to see you again.
Thank you so much.
And you stay tuned. We have more coming up right after this. And welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Diane Atto. She's the property manager of Tresta on the Water. Welcome, Diane. So nice to have you here. So nice to meet you. Usually we see Becky here. How are you doing today?
Wonderful. Thanks for having me.
So for our viewers that haven't seen our segments before, could you tell us where Tresta is located?
Sure. Tresta on the Water is located in Monona along 5 beautiful waterfronted acres along the Yahar River. It is just off the Beltline and easy access to Highway 51 and also the interstate. So it makes traveling around Madison and getting to other surrounding communities pretty easy.
Yeah, it's super convenient and it's just gorgeous there on the water. So tell us a little bit about what's within the complex itself. You have so much to offer there.
Yes, well, we do have 123 residential homes. We also have an executive suite, which you can rent out kind of like on a daily basis, like a hotel. So if a resident is having guests coming, they can stay on site. That is a 3-bedroom, 3-bath, fully furnished penthouse and all the comforts of home. We also have an on-site restaurant called Waypoint Public House. Fabulous food, and they have a wonderful selection of craft beers. We also have 2 new businesses that opened up in January. We have Monona Yoga Center, and then we also have I Give 100 Fitness, which is a personal trainer studio.
So really there's everything right there for you right on that complex. Now what about if people have a member of their family that happens to be of the animal variety? Are you pet friendly?
Yes, we are. We welcome up to 2 pets per rental home. And one thing that sets us apart from other apartment complexes is that we do not have any size restrictions on dogs.
Wow, that's amazing. You don't see that very often.
No.
That's awesome. So what about in your actual rental home itself? What kind of amenities can people expect?
Well, there is free internet in every rental home. There are granite countertops in the kitchen and the bathrooms. All the appliances are Energy Star. There's also an in-house washer and dryer. And then we have a technology nook that has USB ports, so you can put all your devices there and charge them up.
What about the complex itself? What kind of amenities do people see there?
The complex, there is a lobby area. It's wonderful. There's a lot of space for residents to come down and gather. There's a gathering bar that you can reserve if you have friends or family coming over to watch a game. There's a community room, also a gaming lounge, which you can game online. And there is a convenience store now located in the lobby area. So if you run out of something, sugar, milk, we may have it down at the store so residents don't have to leave. We also have a wonderful courtyard with grilling stations and also a fire pit. And also a rooftop patio that we're finally getting out there to enjoy now that the weather's nicer.
It sounds like a real community just in and of itself. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today. It was wonderful to meet you.
Thank you.
And stay tuned. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. My next guest is Ron Reed. He's Director of Technology and Education at Restaino & Associates. Welcome, Ron. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Stacy. It's an honor to be here.
Well, tell us a little bit about Restaino & Associates. How would you say they are different from the other real estate brokerages in the area?
Yeah, and I would say definitely one thing that we pride ourselves on for a big difference is that we're able to combine both big and small. And what I mean by that is that we have all the tools and resources that you're going to find with a bigger brokerage. And I suppose we're pretty big in the area. I'm sure a lot of your viewers recognize the brand or the logo. But we have all the tools and resources that you're going to find with some of those larger brands or larger franchises, while being able to retain the flexibility of a smaller brokerage. And what I mean by that is that we're very light on our feet. We're able to make decisions very quickly. And what that means to your viewers is that when they speak with one of our agents, they know that they're speaking to the decision maker, because we allow our agents, we encourage our agents really to run their business as it's their business. We don't micromanage them or look over their shoulder. But if they do need some support, we do have it available, such as myself being the head of technology and being on the cutting edge of technology. But that's not something you're going to find with a lot of other brokerages in our area.
So I'd like to hear a little bit more about this, how you're on the cutting edge of technology. What trends are you seeing right now in the industry?
Yeah, some of the biggest trends, and I'm sorry if I get all excited, I get pretty geeky about this kind of thing, but one of them is definitely the drone flyover, and I don't think it really has a name yet, but really what it is attaching a camera or a video camera to a drone and being able to fly over a property or around a property, even through a property, kind of like the walk-through videos. And so for a lot of buyers, their first impression to a property are the photos or the pictures online. And so if a photo is worth 1,000 words, imagine what a video is worth. And so this marries extremely well within our industry, being a lot of video. So that's definitely a bigger trend that I'm seeing. Another one that I'm seeing is the mobile evolution, as it were. So a lot of our buyers have smartphones or tablets. And so a lot of times, instead of driving up to the property and pulling out the info sheet from the for sale sign, they're in their car kind of flipping through the photos. So they're getting an idea of what's on the inside of the property before they ever get there.
So it's great that you've got this that buyers can look at. Any other advice for home buyers?
Absolutely, and this will kind of sound like a broken record, I'm sure, but definitely speaking with a lender. That would highly be the biggest thing that a lot of buyers should do. And it's twofold. Really, the first thing that they want to do is they want to find out that what the monthly payment is going to be. And I think in our industry, a lot of times we focus too much on the price or the asking price. But for buyers, you want to make sure that you're finding something that's comfortable from a monthly payment. You don't want to be house poor, so to speak, where you're kind of tied down by your monthly payment. The second portion of that, too, is that in a competitive market, you want to be pre-approved or being able to speak with a lender to get a pre-approval letter so that when you go to submit offers, a seller can see that you've already talked with a lender. And that might give you a foot ahead of other buyers that haven't.
Excellent advice. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today. It was wonderful to meet you.
Thank you, Stacy.
And stay tuned. We have more coming up. And welcome back to the Real Estate News. With me now is Trent Estabrook. He's one of the owners of Pinnacle Real Estate Group. Welcome. Thanks so much for stopping by today. Tell us a little bit about Pinnacle Real Estate.
Yeah, sure. So Pinnacle Real Estate Group, it's been around since the mid-1990s. A guy named Joe Armentrout started it, and I became one of the partners in 2010.
So what makes you different than all the other real estate companies out there?
Sure. Probably the biggest thing that makes us a little bit different is when you call into Pinnacle Real Estate Group, you get an owner on the phone every single time. So somebody that's seasoned, somebody that's got experience, no new agents taking floor call. You always get one of us.
Wow, that means a lot right there. So now you're very experienced. You're one of the owners. What trends do you see taking place in the market right now?
Yeah, the market it's moving really fast. So properties are getting listed, and if they're in good condition, they're priced right, marketed right, things are moving a little bit faster than we are typically used to seeing.
So what advice do you have to buyers out there that are just entering the marketplace to buy their home?
Yeah, for buyers, be prepared. Get your financial house in order. Meet with the local lender. Make sure you're pre-approved, and then be ready to move a little bit quicker than you typically would like to move. Properties are coming up, and a lot of times we're seeing multiple offers, competition, so the more prepared you are, the better it's going to be.
So they're going to want to start packing up a little bit right away, huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
So now with all of your experience too, I also want to ask you advice to sellers out there that are looking just to sell their home.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you get your house in order. We want to make sure that you're in show condition, in that it's marketed right. You have to have things ready to go. First impression for sellers, when buyers are coming through, first impression is so important. So if you're organized and you're in show condition, priced right, you should be good to go.
So staging a home is definitely the way to go, you'd say?
Absolutely.
So what would be the best time to contact you if you're considering just starting the process? I mean, should people just get in touch with you right away or start looking around a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, sooner is always better. That way we have more time to put a game plan together for whatever the situation is. If you're buying or selling, sometimes it's going to be a little ways out, but sometimes there's credit repairs that have to be done or improvements to the house that have to be done, and the sooner the better because we can have a little more time to prepare and get the property or the buyer ready for when the time is proper.
Yeah, if there's going to be anything coming up, you want to know about that right away.
Absolutely.
Excellent advice. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today.
Thank
And
you.
stay tuned. We have more coming up right after this. And welcome back. My next guest is Bill Quigley. He's the branch manager at Network Funding. Welcome, Bill. So I hear the inventory of homes for sale has been pretty low lately, and some people are having a hard time finding the perfect home that they really want. Do you have some options for people to help them with that?
I do have some options for people. Inventory has been low. Hopefully this spring we'll have more inventory coming into the marketplace, but if we don't, what I'm hearing from a lot of people is they find a home that's close, but it's not quite the perfect dream home that they want. What we have is a mortgage product, actually several mortgage products, whereby if you find a home that's close, maybe it's on a nice lot, it's got a great layout, but maybe it needs a new kitchen, or you want to add another bedroom, finish the basement, or remodel the master bath. We have several different mortgage products where you can purchase the home and incorporate into that financing monies to rehabilitate or remodel the home to make it perfect and give you exactly what you want for your dream home. So you don't have to keep looking. You can find the exact home that you want right now and remodel it to make it perfect.
Oh, that's wonderful news. Now, what about those that are really wanting to get their home, but it seems like it's taking them forever to save for their down payment? Can you help people with that so they can purchase now?
There was a recent survey that I read from Fannie Mae. They did a survey in 2015 of first-time home buyers and how long it takes them to save for a down payment. And in that survey, a large percentage of the first-time home buyers thought that they had to save up 15% of the purchase price as a down payment. And you don't need to save up nearly that much money to purchase a home. You can purchase a home with no money down, 3%, 3.5%, 5%, whatever the case may be. And in that same survey, it found that if you're going to save 15% for a down payment, it could take up to 5 years. Whereby if you reduce your down payment to as low as 3%, you can have that down payment ready usually within about a year. Many first-time home buyers already have those funds available through different sources, and we can help them get into a home now versus having to wait a long period of time to save up that down payment.
Well, that's great news. So if somebody's ready to make a move on this for spring, what are some of the things they should start doing now?
The first thing anybody should do, whether you're a first-time home buyer or a move-up buyer, move-down buyer, wherever you are in the housing spectrum, get your mortgage pre-approved. All you got to do is go to my website, madtownmortgage.com, click on the Apply Now button. You fill out a loan application, it'll take you about 5 minutes. Once you fill out that loan application, we get you fully pre-approved for all the mortgage programs that you're eligible for. There's more than one mortgage program that you may be eligible to use to purchase your home. Once I have your loan application and work on your pre-approval, I do an analysis of all the different mortgage programs that you can use to purchase your home. We lay out the mortgage programs side by side so you can compare them and look at different down payment scenarios, terms, what program works best for which situation. You can then compare the programs and make a determination on which one works best for you. This also helps your real estate agent in looking for the home and negotiating on your purchase. So always get pre-approved, have your purchase ready to go. That way we can also close your purchase in less than 30 days. Most lenders today in today's environment, they need 45 to 60 days to close on purchase transactions. We are closing in less than 30 days.
Wow, that is great news. Well, thanks so much for stopping by today. It was wonderful to have you.
Great to be here. Thank you.
And stay tuned. And welcome back. My next guest is Dave Growles. He's a senior mortgage originator at Waterstone Mortgage. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks, Stacy.
So, talking about mortgages today, no surprise. Now, some people see having enough money as being a big obstacle for them to overcome and being able to get a home. How much do people really need to put down in order to buy?
That's a great question, Stacy. There's a common misconception now that you have to put down 20% to buy a home, and that's just not true. I mean, we have some programs that we can actually still do no money down with.
Are you looking at a higher interest rate then when you do something like that?
No, actually the rates on the no money down programs are quite favorable. Now, of course, they have different terms that you have to qualify for. Some of them have income restrictions, but you certainly can do a loan with no money down.
What about private mortgage insurance? Doesn't that come into play when you've got not quite enough put down?
The private mortgage insurance, anytime you put less than 20% down, you're required to pay private mortgage insurance unless you find other creative ways around it, which is something we kind of specialize in. You can actually buy out the mortgage insurance on a lot of the loans so that you pay a one-time fee and then you don't have the private mortgage insurance during the loan. You can also sometimes do a first and a second mortgage to avoid PMI.
Any drawbacks with doing that?
No drawbacks at all. It's actually a great way if you can afford to put a little bit of the money down up front to buy the mortgage insurance out. You can actually have a big monthly savings.
Now, looking at some other savings, do you offer any of the government loans that are out there?
We do. We offer FHA loans, VA loans. We do WIDA loans. So we have basically every type of loan that you can imagine right now. Waterstone Mortgage does it.
So people could pretty much come to you, say, this is my situation, what can you do for me?
That's exactly right.
Okay. Now, what if you wanted to just do no money down whatsoever? Is that possible?
Yes, actually with a WIDA loan, you could do a 97% loan and they can do a second loan behind it for 3%, so it's technically 100% financing. VA financing is no money down at all.
So at what point would you tell somebody, it's not a good idea to do this, maybe you should put a little bit more money down? Where would you draw the line?
It would really depend on somebody's particular situation. The best way to evaluate that is to actually go through it together, set up a private consultation and talk through everything. Everybody's situation is a little bit different.
So just a second left here. How do you start the process with you guys?
Best way to start the process is to give us a call at 234-5118.
Sounds great. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. It's always wonderful to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And stay tuned. We have more coming up right after this. For all of us here, I want to thank our guests for their time today and also thank you for tuning in to your real estate news. I'm Stacy Hansen. We'll see you next time.